Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. Today we are renovating the Lighthouse, which was a build I did years ago around the time when the first expansion pack Get Together came out. Great little build. We didn't have curved walls or anything like that at that time, so I used diagonal walls. We also didn't have the ability to move stairs around or use ladders or anything like that. Those were all added later. So I thought I wanted to redo this build and actually make use of the curved walls. So I used the medium curved wall room and then the smaller one for the top part of where the light would be. With the remaster, we did lose a bedroom and a bathroom. Originally, the original Lighthouse build had 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms, but this one has 3 beds and 3 baths. And I think that's partially because of the curved walls. I have to say, between the differences between the angles and the curves is that you get a lot more usable space with the angled walls than you do with the curves, because you can't build walls where the walls curve. It just doesn't let you. Actually, it did at some points in the build, but then they were like sticking through the curved bit. That's later in the build, but I mean, yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things here. But I still think it's a really cool build. It's kind of really cool to live in a lighthouse. I would love to live in a converted lighthouse or even a converted barn. So this is the original build. It's still available on the gallery if you'd like to download it. But as far as the new lighthouse, I used a total of 9 packs. So here's what the packs are that I used. Not many. The original build only used 2 packs, but I thought it was good to have some new content and some of the newer items in the build. So the kitchen is actually kind of tiny. But it's fully functional. It still works. I use the Home Chef Hustle Kit. Home Chef Hustle Kit. Let's try that again. But I use the default swatch, which is that beautiful sage green color. And I use the Growing Together fireplace, which kind of has like a green sagey tone to it as well. Maybe not the same exact tone, but it still works, and I thought that would tie nicely in with the kitchen itself. Doing some shelving here on the side of the steps just to make use of that wall space, and I actually did test and the island seating where the shelf kind of gets close to that bar stool there. It actually is still functional. Sims can sit there, use it, so it's pretty cool. They can't walk around that way because the shelf's in the way. They have to go around the long way around the other side of the kitchen. But it still works, and it's really great. The other problem is with the curved walls is certain furnishings really don't fit against a curved wall, so it's pretty minimalistic as far as the furnishings, and you really have to take care and kind of caution as to where you're putting things. I also struggled throughout building. I don't know if it was just like the longer I was on the lot or what, but I had trouble placing some items, like the smoke alarm, for example. Like, I could not place it on this wall to save my life. Like, I was just fighting with it. I use move objects, and I just thought, you know what, we'll just put on this flat wall above the kitchen cabinets and all is good. But even just painting some walls with wallpaper as we get later on in the build, like in the upper floors, I just couldn't paint the walls. I don't get it. I had to be like in a very specific location in order to be able to paint the wall. And then I just ended up using shift and just covering the walls that way, which made it easier. But then sometimes it would bleed into other rooms or paint the opposite side of the wall, like in a different room, or even the exterior of the lighthouse. So I had to be really careful as to how that works. But all in all, a great build, very interesting floor plan, but really trying to make the most of the space on each of the floors. So it's very weird in how it's divided up, but that's in part due to the curved walls and where you can actually place walls. As far as the house itself, it's a 30 by 20 lot. I built it in Windenburg on the little island area. Great little location. It's pretty much surrounded by water almost, so it's a great location for it. And there's 3 baths, 3 bedrooms. It comes in around 74,000, and 94 simoleons, and that includes the lot price itself if you decide to place it here in your game. It's already available on the gallery as well. To download, you can find it. It's called the Lighthouse 2023. I couldn't fit 2023 Remaster because it was just too long of a title, but that is what it is. My EA ID is TheSimified. So you can find all my creations there, including this build, if you're interested. But yeah, placing some objects was also very tricky, like the bathtub. I also found that like once you placed an object in a certain spot, you couldn't go back and pick it up, which was concerning to me. It's like, does that mean it's like not functional? Does it not exist? But no, it works. It's fine. It's just, I don't know. It's just something with the curved wall system. They're very glitchy. I mean, even the ceilings, I didn't paint the ceilings in this build partially because the lighting is just so weird on them. Like you can see different shadings and shadowing going on there, so it just wouldn't look right. So I just left them white, just because it looks better that way. I guess it's a little less noticeable than if it were like, you know, like a wood texture or something, like a white wood. But all in all, you kind of have to do what you have to do when you're dealing with curved walls. Do I think it was a good idea to use curved walls? Yes and no. I guess there's a lot of limitations with them. But is it an improvement over the other builds? Sure. I mean, I love how getting rid of the angles and doing actual curves, because a lighthouse would be basically almost like a cylinder. So it would be very curved, but also very sloped. We obviously can't do like the slopiness going to like a point kind of thing, because again, it's The Sims, so you're limited by what The Sims can do. But just having the curves, I think, is really cool and makes it feel a bit more genuine. But as far as usable space and the overall structure of the house, they can be quite limiting. But as you can see, I pretty much had to like figure out how to divide this house without having the walls like stick through curved bits, but which was weird because in the beginning it wouldn't let you put the walls on the curves, and then towards the end it kind of did. So I really do think it was a little glitchy towards the end here. But yeah, as far as the windows, I did kind of keep them all on the curved bits, but then to get some a little bit closer, like you see on the front of the house here, I use the alt placement, and you can kind of slide them a little bit closer so that way they're not so spaced out. But towards the back of the house, I did leave them spaced out. Something else I also discovered is I wanted to do curved railings around the perimeter up here, but you couldn't do it. So I had to basically create this giant curved room with the curved walls and then replace the walls with railings. It wouldn't let me add the railings like already on top of it. So then I just converted the top, instead of having the curved walls up here, I did angles for where the light would be, which makes sense because then if like the light still existed and was rotating, it would just kind of, you know, flow out all of the sides. So, you know, but there is no light. I did put a platform up there, just to kind of indicate where the light would be or where it was at one time, but it's really just purely for decoration, and it's more of a like observation deck. I put some lounge chairs out there. I put a telescope out there, the smaller form factor, obviously, because the giant one would be so huge, you know. So we do use the smaller telescope, which is great. I think it fits well up there, and you've like amazing views from the upper deck. So I also changed the color of the windows. Originally I was doing this like dark wood color, and then something towards the end I was just like, why don't I just make them all black? I don't know, it just looks better with black. And some of the positioning of the windows I noticed was a little, once I painted the walls I could tell they were a little off from me alt placing them. They were like sitting a little higher and not exactly even. I guess just a little bit of my OCD going in there, perfectionism. But so this area on the second floor where like I guess the master would be with its ensuite, I made this big curved room an office, with a couple of chairs, a bookshelf, I really didn't know how else to fill this space. I couldn't really divide it too much because I wanted this, the stairs from the first floor, but then you also had to fit the ladder for the second floor. And I didn't want it to feel too tight and cramped. I still wanted to feel like livable, breathable, kind of just a nice flow. And I think it works well with how I divided up here. The upper floor, or the third floor, is also done the same way, but I was able to fit in another bedroom, though it's quite small, and that's just what you get. I had to basically kind of work with the curved wall and around the curved wall, but I think it works. You can't go higher than 4 floors, so I would have loved to make this taller, but it just doesn't work. It doesn't let you, so that's just a limitation of the game itself, which I kind of wonder why. Like, why couldn't we have fit like one more floor? I could have always done like a basement too and gone down below, but that's also kind of weird because I really don't know of any lighthouses that have basements. Usually they're all above ground, but I think it would have been great to have just one more floor to make this like super tall, but it is still pretty big. It is still pretty tall. So here I am fighting with the curved wall in this, what I would call a kid's bedroom. I was thinking like, okay, can't really fit too much here. There isn't too much usable space because of the giant curved wall. I also noticed that one window isn't painted out to the black, but we do fix that. I fixed that before I shared it to the gallery when I noticed that again later on when I was taking screenshots. I'm like, oh yes, I forgot that, but ignore that for now. So I was originally going to put like a small like powder room, like a toilet and a sink back here, but then I couldn't paint the wall here. It would not let me apply wallpaper. So I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to delete this little like 2x2 room that I was going to make like a little toilet and a sink and give the kids' bedroom a little bit more space. It works because it allows me to tuck the bed into the corner, still functional, and it gave just a little bit more space to the bedroom. Didn't seem as weird, but again, it's a weird shape for sure, but it's just having to deal with the, the awkward shape of the curves and the limitations with that. But I guess if I really wanted some more space, I could have made that like a squared off room and not have the angled wall, but I wanted the angled wall to be there just to kind of lead you naturally back to the ladder, which goes up to the upper floor. And the bathroom up here is actually very big, but also very nice. It's not attached to any of the bedrooms. It's just off the hallway, but very nice, white, bright. And this is the last bedroom we are working on now. I went for like a green tone in here, which I really, really like. I don't know, just in the end, it just looks so pretty. It's like a nice green. And I used some of the growing together furnishings, and the Modern Luxe kit was used in the other bedroom. I think I used 1 or 2 of the furnishings, maybe the mirror from Modern Luxe kit in this green bedroom, just because it like leans up against the wall. But and a chair. The chair was there too. Yeah, they're nice chairs. So yeah, they're great to use in different areas. And then this is the upper level. I'm just kind of looking around for some different things. I found this like dish rack kind of thing and thought would be a great addition to the kitchen, and just putting some other clutter around on the little shelves on the wall. I put one of the pillows from the Modern Luxe kit on the floor next to the couch. Put a like pointed decoration. I was toying with putting a chimney up here because we do have the fireplace, but I'm like, yeah, I've never seen a lighthouse with a chimney. Maybe like off to the one side or something, like a really, really old one, obviously for heating, because people actually used to like live and stay in the lighthouses, back in the old days. Like somebody would actually live there. So perhaps, but not in this version, not in the Sims version. I also use the growing together fire pit because it's just smaller. There were some get together ones, but they're more bonfires, so they're very huge. But I added that out back with some log seating and putting some lighting around the upper level here. But again, that's the platform that I use. I was toying with like trying to put a light there, but I couldn't really find a light that I wanted to use. So we don't put a light there. Just pretend that was like taken out. Like the lighting mechanism was removed when the house was converted into a fully livable home. So now I'm just doing some landscaping, matching the trees to the surrounding world. I had to toggle move objects because I could not place this tree where I wanted it to be. It just kept saying I couldn't place outside the boundary of the lot, but the tree was well within the lot. It was very weird, but kind of fought with it, but won in the end. And we're just matching some of the grasses and flowers and just general landscaping to the surrounding area, which is very nice. Originally, I didn't do that, I guess because I wasn't as familiar with debug as I am now, and finding some of the landscaping items is just great to have those things because it fits better, flows better, looks like it fits in with the world, doesn't really stick out like a sore thumb. So just nice to have the items here, especially in this part because they used a lot of grasses and like small flowers and some trees. So it just makes it feel great, like how it all kind of ties together. But here we are into the screenshots, so you can see it's finished. Great views. I really love this location. It's just beautiful. I really wish we could have some more island-based worlds, but this is the first floor, the second floor, and then we have the third floor, and then finally we get to walk through the interior at a nice close-up, but it's very nice. I really like how it turned out. I hope you did too. You can find the Lighthouse 2023 Remaster already on the Sims 4 gallery. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Make sure to subscribe for newer videos and newer content. And yeah, that's pretty much all I had for this video. I'm trying to think of what I want to do for the next build. I was looking through my gallery library, just kind of see what other older builds I can remodel. And I wasn't really finding any that were like calling to me for a remodel. Unlike, the past three that now three that I've done, the Glass House, Hawks Ridge Contemporary, and now this Lighthouse. But I guess I'll continue to look and kind of see what there is out there. I know there was one that I was looking for that was like a really, really old house, but it is not out there anymore. So it must have been deleted or something. But anyway, I do hope you enjoyed this speed build. I do thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.